Day number 2, futzing with the 4Runner. So yesterday I called it when there were no more parts I could order because we didn't quite know what we were doing, and the book that I have doesn't give any wire color like what's in the cabin that I'm seeing underneath. I'm trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So, what I figured out is, I found a wiring diagram. I'll put it up on screen. I found the fuel pump relay, or the thing that is labeled a fuel pump relay, on the side of the part. It's not, in fact, a fuel pump relay. It is, in actuality, the ADD relay. Now, the ADD relay has something to do with the 4-wheel drive. So I'll point it out and I'll tell you what I'm doing. So you got that relay there, right? And that relay on the side of them is marked. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but it's marked fuel pump relay, which is strange because well, the fuel pump works out without that relay installed. Which I thought, okay, well, either there's a major problem in the wiring harness, which is possible, or it's not actually the fuel pump. I went and I finally found a book. It took a couple hours, not that hard. It's kind of the way with these older vehicles, is trying to find documentation for them, because it was all paper documentation in these days. It wasn't computerized. Some of it was, but most of it was paper documentation. Finding somebody that took the time, sat down, and digitized it all can be a bit tedious. The civics documentation actually took me longer to find. So what I did is I pulled that guy down and I checked the wires, because the relay, when you start the engine, the relay freaks out, and then those two valves over there that are, you can see the red and the blue connectors, and the valves just beyond them disconnected. Those guys freak out. I was like, okay, well, they pulse at the same rate when the engine's running. What the heck is going on? Went through the wire harness. Took me, I don't know, five or six things to figure it out. Where we're at right now is, I know that is the ADD relay. I checked him out with that guy, where one of these went on a known power pin, and the other one went on the suspected problem pin. The suspected problem pin is, I believe, I'm going to pull it back down here in just a second. I'm going to set you guys back up on the tripod while I do that, so you're not just laying on the floor, because I'm nice like that. I'm going to check which wire that actually was. It was the middle pin. So it's a 2x3 connector. There is only one of the middle pins actually pinned on the connector. So should be pretty easy. I'm pretty sure it was the light green wire. It might just be called green in the wire harness. I don't know. But, okay, so what I just see with my face here is I'm looking down under here, right? And your transfer case is going to be your big guy. It's got a drive shaft coming out one end, got a drive shaft coming out the other end, and it transfers. And it's inside a case. Easy peasy. So I'm looking for a single wire, or maybe 2 wires, because there might be, you know, a ground built in that goes to a connector somewhere on the frame. The wiring diagram doesn't really tell you, but it does show a wire going to ground. So, perhaps 2. I look around and I find that guy, which you guys have probably already seen while I've been kind of showing you around. And if we look at him kind of a little bit closer, let me put the flashlight on the ground and roll my fat butt in here just a little bit. Oh, this really not good creeper. automatic has a transfer case temperature or a pressure sensor. The manual does not, it looks like. If we look, right there, that is a green. I don't know if we can see it all that well. Yeah, there you go. You guys see that? Green and white wire. Green wire, white stripe. The connector's a bit melted, which is not ideal. It's not going to be easy to disconnect. But you can see this little wire sticking out the end here. And lo and behold, what's right there beside it? Well, the steel drive shaft. And when it's running, what do you think this thing's doing? It's the wrong angle for me to fast twitch muscle, but you get the idea. It vibrates, and the wire sticking just out of the end there makes a little contact to the steel of the drive shaft. Grounds that switch, turns the relay on and off. Good stuff, good stuff. There's also a bracket somebody never installed fully up there. The CV boot is torn. We already knew about that. We're going to be doing that during this project. I don't know if I'm going to... I think I'll just release these. Maybe if I do. Cut it back. And it shouldn't rest against anything conductive. But just to be safe, what we're going to do, see what we're going to do. What we're going to do is see right here. They're actually going to cover the wire and the silicone RTV. We're going to make kind of like a cover for it, right? And it'll be, I don't know, a couple hours and he'll cure. So now what I need is a couple of crescents to try to tighten the fuel filter that's down here on the frame, because I noticed it's leaking. We're gonna see if we can't tighten the fuel filter on the intake, because 22 REs have a fuel filter right at the bottom of the intake, which I've never been a big fan of. He doesn't have the access plate installed. You can see it's supposed to be here, 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 there. There's a little plate that goes right across there. He doesn't have that installed. I don't know what he's done with it, but you can see there's a leak there on that fuel filter. We're gonna get in there with a little 17-aroo. I mean, it's tight. I think those washers are just leaking. Might have tried to reuse the old washers instead of getting new ones. Well, for now, it's not leaking like mad. I'm gonna open the door.
A few moments later.
Ah, we got fuel all over the place. Woo. I'm gonna run Joe Riley's. We're gonna see if we can find a fuel filter, because that fuel filter is damaged. Trying to tighten it up, I must have cracked the case or something.
1 hour later.
So I just ran to the store because luckily there was one in town. That's a good thing about having multiple parts stores in town. Riley's did not have a fuel filter. Went down to Napa. Napa was closed. Turned around, came all the way back in town. Went to AutoZone last. AutoZone had one. So that's what we're looking at. Started the engine up and fuel just everywhere went.
One eternity later.
There we go. Okay. Solution. Pull the lines out with it. So, yeah. Might not be the best filter design. One could claim. I'm trying to figure out exactly where it has to have been here. Had to have been right there. Leaky deacon. So, neat trick if you can get the tools on there. Put your holder on. Put your other wrench on. Something close. 12 points help with this a lot. Something close. And then, all the force you need is right at your fingertips. Easy peasy. Squeeze and pull. Squeeze and pull. There we go. Fuel filter installed. Lines don't look thick. This one, I swear this one looked twisted before. The other one was fine, but that one looked twisted, I thought, when I got in there the first time. So it looks better now, I think. And both the bolts are on the fuel filter, as they very well should be. Don't want your fuel filter rattling around. So, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the key on. I'm going to pull the air filter off. I'm going to push the flapper. Turn the fuel pump on manually. Don't smell, no fuel. Don't see, no drippy-doos. Yeah, buddy. That looks right. Right. Guten Tag. Another girl you want to date? Awesome, awesome. Thank you, sir. Okay. Parts are ordered. They should be here, some of them tomorrow, some of them Tuesday. So we're probably just gonna wait until Tuesday to hit this guy. They want to take it camping tonight. We got the fuel leak sorted, that's good. We don't want to be leaking fuel out in the Arizona desert. That'd be a big no-no, bad, don't do that. Got the ADD relay freaking out thing sorted. It was a part that is no longer needed because it's a manual transmission. It was for the automatic, so we got that sorted. I think we're doing okay. I think he's okay to take it and drive it. I am going to drive it around the block, try to get the squeaky out of the brakes. A lot of times it's just dust and debris. So you get in there, you hit them, you do some stuff, you play with them, you reseat the brakes. Probably, given that the brakes are fairly new, I would wager that whoever put the brakes on never bedded the brakes for the customer, the previous owner of this vehicle. I'd put money on that. All right. One last thing I'm going to do on today's list. I'm going to bring you over here. Okay. So, one last thing I've got to do today, just so that they can take it and it's not just a pain in the ass to drive. Take the key out. I've got to adjust the clutch pedal. So the clutch pedal begins engaging, well, the clutch begins engaging when the pedal is this guy I could probably show you because it's not going to be too crazy hard. So, clutch pedal, right there. He's got an adjuster on him somewhere, right there. We get to it from this side over here, going that way. I don't know what size that is. Oh, where's he at? There's he at. 13 or 14 feels like. So, I don't know if we'll be able to see it. I'll look at it in the video later. But you've got that arm that goes to the clutch master. You can see there's a lot of play up here at the top end where it's just not really doing anything. So what we've got to do is we've got to adjust that. I don't know how well this is going to turn out because I can't get my head down in here to view where the light's facing. Really? Maybe I can. Maybe I can. Maybe I can get in here with you guys. Okay, what size is this? Not that. Probably a 12, isn't it? Yeah, it's a 12. Okay. So, this guy here. Hello? Heck? Loosen him up. And a half turn. Alright, so the way I'm adjusting it is when the pedal is at full up stop against the bracket, we gotta push it. We don't want to feel drag from the clutch master right up here at the top, right? So we want them to be up against that bracket, and just like that, which if you look, you can see he was adjusted way down. Right there. It could go down a little bit. Let's take it down a little bit. And now adjusting, there is a specification for clutch pedal play. I've always found the specification to be a little bit generous, where it doesn't feel quite right. Right there. Yep. Okay.
That's all we've got for this one. Stay tuned for part 3. Don't forget to like it, subscribe it, crank it, and rip it. We'll see you in the next one.